Everything I've had that they produce is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I was saying earlier that like the amber was the only one that I've ever had before. Before I was introduced to these two, when we started carrying them here at the Cork and Stogie, 1218 Duval Street, sunny Key West, Florida.
That's why we live here.
I was actually going to try to do that one, but you guys beat me to the punch.
Next
you know,
time.
and like honestly, I think this is a great beer. I mean, like every beer that I've had tonight has been a great beer.
Absolutely.
So that's Fortis.
Yeah.
Beer, beer, beer.
When I was on their
Beer,
website,
I'm pretty sure that's 4.
beer. When I was on their website earlier today, the only thing I was thinking of is I wonder what other beer will be available from them because, of course, it's traveling from coast to coast to get here. So
Yeah, I
there
mean,
might
you
not
know,
be as many,
it's
but
a kind
I'm
of
hoping,
a far
I'm hoping
ways
that other
away.
things show up. Dave Senior.
Well,
They do have some really nice
actually,
choices.
California is about the distance to Germany.
Is it really?
Yes,
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay,
more or less.
more or less.
But you have to swim to get to Germany.
Without the big pond.
Here
well,
you can put it
well,
on a
the
train.
big pond.
Yeah.
Better wear a wetsuit.
Dave Senior, were there any others that were showing up on the list, just out of curiosity, that you have available to you?
Well, the amber.
There are, the amber for sure. The
That's
other
like their premier.
Embryo?
That's their push.
and that's
Okay.
the only ones that I know about. But probably those are the only ones that appealed to me. So
Yeah.
there could be more
They also have
available
a
down
Pilsner.
in Key West. You know, sometimes we
They
just
do have a
only get
Pilsner. I've never had
selected-
that.
Their Pilsner, he said that they again, like the other one, they're using strictly German malts on the on the Pilsner.
So I have to mention about the Napa-Smith Brewery website that it's a very beautiful website, and they have great graphics. Plus, they also have videos, lots of great information, and they seem to be very proud of what they have going on.
They should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
be very
Here.
proud.
And, yeah,
Here.
they look like they love what they do, and they've won a lot
Good.
of awards.
They
Yes,
do a
they
great
have.
job
And
with
again,
their
when-
bottles
when-
and their labels.
No, it's
Exactly.
amazing.
Their whole presentation's good, and
Yeah.
again, the video. One of the things I liked about the videos is that they're not long. You're there with the head brewmaster. You're not there with some guy who works for the brewery. You're there with the guy who it all boils down to. He's the guy.
Boils and bubbles and
boils and bubbles. But
Twirls and
Don
troubles.
Barkley is the head brewer there, and it's not a long dissertation. It's like a minute and a half. It's not rushed. It's casual. He's drinking the beer. He's telling you all about it, and when you hear it, you know you're hearing it from a true authority, and it's really a great presentation. If you go on their website, like I say, they have 11 beers listed there, and I didn't count them, but I'm going to say about 6 or 7 have videos. So definitely check that out. It's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
worth your while. It doesn't
and
take a long
they're
time to
fun
do.
videos.
Yeah.
job,
like
Napa
they're
Smith.
fun,
Good
and
job.
they're within cat length.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you don't want to watch a cat video. That's like an
No,
hour
no,
long.
no, no, no.
Oh, and wait, beer. We're talking about beer.
Another thing they do is they
Look at it.
they're the official beer of the U.S. water polo team.
Really?
And on the bottom of their website, if you go into their, I think it's their main page there, they say that they say something to the degree of, if you have a charity that you think is worthy, let them know, and they'll donate something to the charity, which I think is fabulous.
Yeah, it's great.
Very
That's
nice.
fabulous.
Wonderful.
Hello, this is Dave Senior, and you're listening to Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers.
So next up, we have something pretty crazy.
We do.
I'm gonna see if somebody wants to say something about this real
All
quick.
right, well, first thing we want to do is let's announce the beer, and I want Dave Senior to talk about its. We had a little preamble to this. We touched on it very briefly.
It's going to be the first time I'm trying it, by the way.
That's all right. We touched on it very briefly at the beginning of the show. But Dave, would you please tell us the beer that we're going to be getting, where it's from, and maybe its exclusivity or something along those lines?
Well, it is the Cigar City Hanapu, and I may not be saying that correctly, by the way, but it is a beer that they have a Hanapu Day there, to where they bring out this beer. It's only available at Cigar City in Tampa. They sell wristbands. I think it was in their 5th year, but I'm not positive about that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The only time you can get this beer is at that festival.
At that festival.
It's not like you can get it
That's it.
in a
Yep.
store or in a bar.
That's it.
The only place you get it is at the brewery when they have that festival.
At that festival. And that's pre-2014 because they'll never do it again. It got so out of hand. So many people wanted to be at that festival. They jumped the fence. They copied wristbands, and they'll never do it again because it was such it was bad PR ultimately in the end because so many people sought after this beer. Here again, only at the brewery, only one day. That's it. And it was a festival, and it's a fabulous beer.
And we happen to have a bottle of it here tonight. Yay!
And
it is a fabulous beer. It's amazing.
I think it's
going to be my first time trying it.
I read a little bit about
always good to have a first time.
what the word means, and
they have a whole thing on their website about it. It's
Hanapu Virgin.
it goes back to Mayan culture.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think it was what was it, the one that presented the cocoa to the Mayan Indians?
Well, it was.
Hanapu?
I read it in just in a short synopsis. But one of these guys he was one of the key people. He was murdered, and they buried him under a tree, and then his face came out of the tree. And at one point or another, this girl came walking by years later, and his face was on the tree, and he spit on her hand, which impregnated her. And she had twins who grew up, and then the twins went out and avenged their father's death.
Keep up with that soap
Yeah,
opera.
you're not kidding.
There you go.
But did you tell me that this beer they had to shut the whole brewery down to make? Was it this one?
Well, there are several beers that they have to shut the whole brewery down to make, and this is indeed one of them.
Okay.
Marshall Zukov being another one, and
which we tried last
an Imperial Stout also.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so very limited. Oh, I think it's the pumpkin beer also.
Oh, okay.
They have
Good
to
Gourd.
shut it. Good Gourd.
The Good Gourd.
All fabulous
which,
beers.
by the way, sold out in one freaking night. Didn't
But-
even get to try it.
The Good Gourd, really?
Yeah.
By the
I saw a
way,
picture of it.
Diamond Dave, didn't even get to try the Good Gourd.
And he works
All
there.
gone in one night, and I was bartending that night. Didn't even get to try it.
It lasted about 30 minutes, but
Oh, man.
A whole
that's
case
That's
gone.
what Cigar City does with
Yeah.
some of their most fantastic beers. Those brewers really create some masterpieces that people jump fences for,
Yeah.
and
They climb the fences for them. Oh, that sounds
If there's
great.
a case gone in 30 minutes, you know it's good.
I think Mark and has a few insights on this beer also, but that's what I know about the beer.
Yeah.
And here again, I may be saying the name wrong. I may be saying Hanapu, and it might be Hanapu.
It's spelled H-U-N-A...
Hanapu.
H-P-U.
Maybe
I've heard
yeah.
Hanapu.
Hanapu.
Yeah, Hanapu, I guess.
And what a crazy day in Tampa on Hanapu Day.
And now it's over.
And it's over, and they won't do it again because they just couldn't control it.
That's wild.
Yeah. They'll sell it, but they're going to come up with a different system to get it out to the general public that loves that
So
beer.
the beer we're going to have this evening this beer was released in the beginning of March, or that's when it was made.
Okay, so we have a studio audience tonight that are feeling a little bit
They're
shy.
bashful.
British eye.
It's Rich Abrams and Brandon
And if you could
Wilson.
explain who they are.
Rich Abrams used to live here in Key West and is now residing in Miami. He was a beer distributor down here for many years. He integral in helping get craft beer distributed here in Key West. Brandon is he's a very unique fellow. He's a beer nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is that why he's embarrassed about being on the air?
yeah, pretty much. I think they just don't want to be involved.
They're introverts.
All right.
Yeah, they're more than happy holding hands and talking about beer than they are actually talking about beer on the air. But Brandon is the assistant brewmaster over at Waterfront Brewery, which is actually currently not open. But they're on their 5th round of test batches. And that's the first full-fledged brewery here in Key West, Florida.
How are they getting rid of these quote unquote test batches? I'd like to know.
Me.
Yeah, because
I'd like to have a few.
Me. And we're working it out.
We're working what out?
I'm slowly bludgeoning Brandon with the friendship. And kindness and beer shares and he's a great guy. Like don't let me cheapen our relationship. But he's a really awesome dude, and he really kind of gave me a lot of background on this beer, which I guess you guys already spoke about.
You also should mention that he used to be a brewer up in Tampa where this beer was made.
Well, no. So
is that correct?
So Justin was a brewer at Cigar City for many years. Actually, I recently I was gifted a taste, and by taste I mean about 4 ounces of the Marshall Zukoff that was barrel aged in brandy casks from 2010, and Justin. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh, sweet.
It was like literally, it was like the chunkiest beer I've ever had in my entire life. It was like the smoothest thing I've ever had.
Wow.
It was like whiskey smooth.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like ridiculously smooth beer. Just a real quick comment. He was like, I want everyone to drink all of this because I just don't want to bring this home. And I was like so depressed by it at the time he had said it. I was like, oh, whoa, man, that's really dark. And then he was like, I only brought light beers here tonight.
Okay, I believe Mark has said beer 4 times. So we
Beer!
Cheers. But why was this Hanapu opened already?
Oh, I opened it earlier tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You opened it earlier.
Well, I mean, yeah, there were some people
All right,
that
well,
I
I'm
wanted to
having
share it
sip
with.
then.
What? I beg your pardon? You what? You
I
what?
gained.
Oh my god!
I feel like I gained providence of this because I opened it up earlier tonight and I put it in a different cooler because I wanted it to be a different
But it was
temperature.
opened.
It was opened.
It was opened. Beer is very different after it sits for a few hours after it's been opened.
Yes, and I believe
Chris,
this one
I'm not telling
actually.
you anything you don't know.
Chris,
No, but
Chris,
I believe.
all I got to say is, why did we not try this first? Oh yeah, never mind.
No, there's a good reason not to try it first.
No, this
then.
is definitely worth waiting
Oh my
for.
God.
I
This is worth
believe
waiting
that-
Whoever
for.
brewed this beer should be held under the beer god of like a beer god.
So this is up there with like the Thomas Hardys of the world. This
This
is
is amazing.
this doesn't even hold value.
Does somebody have a fork that I can eat this beer with?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I tasted it, I
It
got
tastes marvelous.
I got-
it's got a ton of body.
like a
I'm not
raisin.
complaining.
I got like a raisin
Yep.
flavor.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
there was chocolate, and it's just a very complex flavor. It's
It's
just
a really
unbelievable.
complex and
Yeah.
toffee.
Afterwards.
Yeah, definitely.
And the
Nice
aroma is
dark
so
chocolate
sweet.
toffee flavor.
Right.
I mean, it has such a molasses aroma to it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's 100% like amazing.
Yeah.
It
This
pours
is-
like a molasses.
Honestly, I mean, like,
Is there a pepper in there?
yeah,
Yes, there is.
there's
I'm
definitely
I'm
yep.
tasting
Definitely a little
Chili.
bit of pepper.
It's
Chili pepper.
what is it?
Pasilla?
Yeah,
Pasilla
pasilla.
I
chilies?
don't know what kind
Yeah.
of, but that's what
Yep.
Because of course I make a pepper sauce.
But it's
And-
very
and-
mild. It's
ancho.
very mild.
Ancho.
Ancho?
Ancho, yeah.
And pasilla.
Yeah.
Because
But
anchos,
it's
and a lot of those
mild.
are dried
It's not
peppers,
like it-
and they're smoked. Some of them are smoked.
Yeah.
It
Picking
doesn't
up-
bite
that's
you.
great.
You know, I think we've tried beers in the past with some chilies in it. If I remember right,
It was
There
the
was
Stone.
the Stone.
Oh, the
Chipotle.
smoked porter. Yeah.
The smoked porter with the chipotle pepper in it, and that gave you that like spice to the back of the throat.
Right.
The
Yeah.
ancho
This
chili.
does not do that. This does not do that to you. It's so smooth.
Actually, that's
Well,
where I'm
you can
tasting the
taste
chili,
it.
and then in the exhale. That's where I'm getting it.
It's
So-
in the exhale. It's
but
not
The
in-
molasses. The
Way
molasses.
milder than the chipotle.
The molasses kind of like covers the balances out the chili flavor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful. I mean, it's a work of it's a symphony. It
I'm-
really
I'm
is.
literally,
There's so many,
you know-
so many flavors in there.
And I can't. I mean, like, I could talk about this beer literally all day long, and I did the other day. I literally talked about this beer all day long, and it's amazing. It's absolutely a phenomenal beer. I wouldn't actually pair this with any food.
No, you wouldn't drink. No.
No, you don't pair this with food.
No,
this
you
is
just drink it.
this is a different thing.
You can definitely pair it with a cigar.
Oh yeah,
I can pair
Oh,
this
yes.
with a couple of cigars that we have.